Okay, so back together for the second part. The machine's back together and starting to warm up. I haven't unscrewed it, but basically this had like a standard fluorescent tubing through it, which didn't work and was powered off of the onboard power supply that used to run the actual machine. So that was pulled out and just some standard like under counter strip lighting was put in here. You get sort of a single sort of crown of light there at the start. It does dissipate more throughout the time it's on. It looks worse in the video, to be honest, than it actually is. At some point I'll probably replace it and put a proper strip light through, but for now that was fairly quick and easy. So yeah, marquee I designed myself just using GIMP and Inkspace, taking some bits and pieces, sort of clip art and other drawings and bits and pieces from the internet, and just sort of clipping them out, tidying them up, blowing them up to a pretty high resolution. I can't remember what the resolution was this on now, but it was something insane. And then just sort of making it all up, Mystery Machine lettering, and then sort of iconography of the different machines that sort of the box will run. You've got NES, Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, SNES, you've got N64, you've got MAME, Neo Geo, Sega Master System. It's covered by the plating there, I've screwed it on too tight. Sega Game Gear, Sega Mega Drive, Dreamcast, PlayStation, and then you've got some other more sort of characters. You've got Scoob, you've got Shaggy, got my favourite Tails, got my other favourite Yoshi, it's hanging out, looking a bit mean, and Luigi, Princess Peach, Toad, plenty of Pac-Man ghosts. Then proper glass screen. Quite a lot of arcades, especially self-builds, will be this will be a plastic screen, or sort of a thin acrylic. This is the original glass, backed with some double-sided black contact paper to give it a nice border around, so it obscures the rest of the cabinet. Unless you really peer down, you won't be able to really see the machine innards. It's all painted black on the inside, as you saw before. Some point I may design some little sort of instruction cards or title card things to go there, or some sort of artwork to go down this sort of, there's a big black space there, but that for now. Again, this is the same sort of paper as around here on the sides to blacken the white off. I should have sprayed it, but I'd already fit the orange trim, and I didn't want to have to pull it all apart, so I cheated and put that on. Again, standard LCD screen. Around the side you see little glowing blue LEDs there. Actually picked up more on the camera, you can't actually see those by the naked eye. That's to do with the light gun that's currently being repaired. It's Top Gun 3 light gun. They pick it up. It's for, so you can use a light gun on an LED, LCD or an LED screen, because obviously light guns traditionally work by scan lines from a VDU. So that's that. Bit of point blank action. Control panel. This was originally Capcom branded, sort of almost like a stony kind of covering to it. It's metal right underneath of it all. You've got a wooden base right underneath. You've then got a metal sheet on top that's probably, you know, a couple of mil thick, with the holes drilled in it for the joystick. Buttons, 6 buttons. You've got the player buttons. What I did was strip it all back to the metal, strip the wood back underneath, lay this kind of carbon fibre looking contact paper stuff on there, vinyl sheet that's stuck to it. Pushed that all down, pushed it all through. Then I sort of went online, found some screen grabs, created a load of these little images for different games. You know, different variants. You got Narc, you got Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, a bit of Street Fighter, a bit of Final Fight, Gauntlet, you know, Rolling Thunder, things like that. Laid those on top, printed those on some white adhesive inkjet sort of vinyl sticker paper, stuck those on there. Then got some clear vinyl top sheet, double contact paper type stuff, put that over the top to seal it all in so that these shouldn't degrade or rub or get any sort of damage to them. So that's sort of 3 layers on top of the metal underneath. So that finished that off. Replaced all the buttons. The buttons were pretty knackered. New micro switches for most of the joystick. Still the original joystick. New buttons to match the new colour scheme. I've got the old buttons still in a tin. Again on both sides. Labelling, I went online and looked out this font generator for generating traditional kind of arcade style font, so that's all written down along there. Again, it's all sprayed black on the front here. Purple carries on through to this. I've sort of sprayed over the coin door with the plastic coat paint. There's the little external disc. There's the sub that we talked about in the other video. Coin door mechanism. The coin door bits were still sort of half there, but I just didn't want to have to wire them all in. There's the 2 coin things, player 1, player 2, black buttons, new speaker trims. I just went for plastic and to cover up the holes in there. Down here, empty coin drawer where it used to do the connector. We have got, in case of emergency and while I'm still getting on with things, miniature keyboard and trusty old mouse. Oops, they can both live in there quite happily, tucked out the way. No one will be any the wiser unless everything goes tits up and has to be repaired. So there we go. Now we have got the interface here, and I've used Maximus Arcade for the interface. There are a few others. Hyperspin looks very good and it seems quite nice, but it absolutely murders the machine because it's not that high a spec, and it's Maximus Hyperspin's all written in Flash, so it just absolutely destroys the machine. That's before it even starts trying to run the emulators, so it's kind of pointless. Maximus is pretty reasonable looking. It will page through the systems that you activate and configure. These are the ones that I've done so far. They're in different states of repair. Most are functional or fully working. Some are a little bit rough and ready, but I'm slowly adding more and more as time progresses. And you've got quite a few different sort of options coded to the buttons on the actual machine, because you don't want to have to mess about with a separate keyboard. I could get the keyboard out and have it so it did certain functions, but pressing F on player 2 will give me my master volume settings, so I can change there how loud or how quiet I want the machine. So we'll pump that up a little bit and we get rid of that. Likewise, using like the C button is enter to enter something. So there we go. This is the main list. These are the titles sort of on the machine. Just a sort of a selection of bits and pieces. You can run yourself a favourites list, which will give you a good collection you can start adding to yourself as time goes on. Another nice little feature, as well as the sort of an idea of graphics, you can take screenshots in the game that will appear there. You've got the marquee as it was. You'll sometimes get the layout for the keyboard and start the keys, and pressing B on player 2 here will bring up a nice little synopsis. So you've got the bio there of the game, which will tell you all about the actual game. when it was made, how it was made, any little stories that they've sort of people have managed to come across over the years. You've then got technical details, so what the system was involved in, what the video refresh was, resolution, palettes, type of joystick, sound chips. Then you've got just general trivia, like, you know, Ghouls and Ghosts was Daimakemura or something like that, which basically means Great Demon World Village in Japan. Tells you the other games in the series, who worked on it, other systems it's been on. This one tells you what score you get for different things, you know, and it tells you loads of little bits of information. Some have a lot of stuff, some don't have much stuff. There you go, see, there's another one for sort of Final Fight. Tells you sort of lots of information about Final Fight and similar sort of thing. So that's the general gist of that. So I'll leave that there, and then I'll refresh the battery on the camera, and we'll get into some games.